Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday to you. I thought that I would pop in here for a quick announcement to kind of facilitate the end of this week and maybe clear up some confusion that you might have had in the previous weeks as well. So a couple of things. I've finished grading your unit or your module 2 work. Do be sure to check out the comments there and make sure you look at the rubric as well to fully see my comments and what you did well and what needs some improvement. So this week I think is confusing some people because there are 3 things that are graded this week. The first is the writing plan. And in this writing plan, as you see, I've got the module open. As you scroll down through here, you are going to be continuing work on the same article that you've used in Unit 1 and Module 1 and in Module 2 as well. A few of you, very few of you, still are picking some random article from the ether, or a couple of you used the turning off dining in last week, 424, which I told you not to about 15 different times. Please redo those, do them correctly. You're working with the same article the entire semester, okay? So whichever one of those 4 that you picked from our reading list in the beginning of the semester in Module 1, you're going to persist with that same article throughout. All of the writing assignments reflect that specific article. So for this assignment, for writing the writing plan in 3.2, you're going to answer these specific questions. You're going to talk about the claim. You're going to identify new key points, or if not, you're going to kind of restate those key points that you've already done. You're going to describe the author's target audience. And then further, you're going to talk about what choices the author made within their writing to connect to that specific target audience. In other words, let's say you think the author's target audience is high school students, right? An article whose target audience is high school students would maybe use sort of younger slang or jargon, or sort of speak to the teenage experience in some way, right? That's what we're talking about when we say what choices did the author make to connect with this target audience. And then finally, you're going to sort of explain your evaluation of the author's claim. So is the claim strong or is it weak? What evidence or key points from the writing best support the author's claim, etc. And you might be thinking to yourself, hey, haven't we done a little bit of this already? And the answer is yes, in some ways. Basically, all of these assignments scaffold or build from one another. And so you are more than welcome and encouraged, in fact, to sort of use and reconsider and revise what you've written already as you build your understanding of this article. That's the whole point, to be very honest with you. It's the whole point of this process is to build your essay kind of from the ground up. Each time you kind of reiterate some of the same points or find out ways to strengthen that argument. All right. So for this, as always, do not include the prompts in your response, right? Just write in paragraph form. Format it correctly in MLA or APA format. There are, you can click this link to look into that. I sent out a template or a sort of a sample, an exemplar of this assignment earlier this week. Follow that. That's what it should look like, right? Make sure you're proofreading your documents before you submit them, etc. And make sure you're answering all of these questions in complete sentences and paragraphs, right? In general, each of these questions should get its own paragraph, right? Some of them might be shorter paragraphs than others, but if you're answering each of these with a couple sentences or one line, you're not doing the job, okay? You need to stretch out your answers. You need to be more specific. You need to include text, quotes from the text if you can. You're really building your analysis here. All right, so that's the first and major assignment here. You also have a temperature check where you're going to go through, you're going to do this test. I believe you can do it as many times as you want. But it is graded. It's auto graded by the computer. So if you wake up on Monday morning and you have a 0 on it, that's because you didn't do it. The computer will auto score it. So make sure you do that. And then 3.4 and 3.5, you're going to create, you're working to create an outline. So you'll read about creating an outline in 3.4, and then in 3.5, you're going to actually submit an outline. All right. And so essentially, you're using what you've parts of what you've written in the previous 3 weeks to create this outline as you're starting to generate ideas for your essay, right? This is not, you're not beholden to the way this works, right? In other words, we have several weeks before we will complete this assignment. Your rough draft is due in a couple weeks, and there'll be work before then as well. But it's just kind of to get you thinking, and also to prep on how an outline works, right? It is an auto-graded assignment as well. If you submit it, anything here, you will receive a passing 100% grade. If you end up with a 0, that's because you didn't do it, right? So make sure you're submitting, you're clicking submit before you move on. And so hopefully that cleared up some things. Again, there are a few of you, not many, a lot less than most semesters, who used the wrong article for 2.4, which are all of that is now graded. So if that is you, please go back and redo that assignment with a correct article, the one you used in module 1. All right, that's it for this week. I'll be back on Friday just with some reminders, and then we'll chat over the weekend. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me. As I told you, the earlier that you can get those questions in, the better. My Sundays are often packed, especially in the evening. I have a kindergartner, and we spend a lot of time together on the weekends as a family. And so I try to detox and not be near my computer. So hopefully you can be respectful of that and do message early. Otherwise, I probably won't see it if it's on a late night on Sunday. So take care, and we'll chat soon.